welcome to an all-new Eye of the Tiger. I'm Joseph Bianchini.
And I'm Zach Galumgum.
With only 2 weeks left of school until Christmas break, RJUHSD is preparing to reopen for students returning on campus. According to Superintendent Jess Borhan, possible schedules include an 8-hour schedule similar to the schedule before COVID-19, a shorter 7-hour schedule, or a hybrid schedule. The district will decide which schedule will be implemented on the December 14th board meeting.
Last Monday, the district experienced an internet problem, resulting in teachers and students working in an asynchronous manner. According to Superintendent Jess Borhan, tech discovered the internet problem to be caused by a virus flooding the network.
Into our network, Tony Ham described it as, think of it like a theater trying to empty all at once, where a couple of thousand people are trying to squeeze through one door, leaving all at the same time. And we are the person trying to get into the theater. So that much, flow coming out was really preventing the traffic of us coming in or out because of the jamming nature of all the content that was being flooded into our system.
Borhan said that tech has hired outside help and have so far fixed the internet issue.
Now we go over to Kobe Estrada with sports.
Good morning and welcome to this Friday's edition of EOTSN. I'm Kobe Estrada. Earlier this week, the CIF released a statement regarding this year's sports calendar. In that statement, there was 3 main events, one of them being that sports will not start until January 1st, 2021 or later. Another one being that for the first season of sports, there will be no regional or state championship games. And finally, boys volleyball will move from the first season to the second season of sports. And in other sports news, girls water polo got a new coach this year and is having issues with their pods. We go to Grace Lamont with more on the story.
Roseville High School girls water polo team has had many changes this upcoming season. Not only the COVID-19 pods, but also having a new coach join them this season. Junior Hannah Crum on the Roseville water polo team says that the hardest part about practicing in the COVID-19 pods are that there can be no contact with one another, and that's an important part of the game, but she's still staying positive. She thinks the most different part of it all is the attendance.
The biggest difference in the team, I think, is the size of the team compared to last year. We probably had 30 girls practicing every day together, so it's definitely different, but it's still fun seeing everyone and getting to practice every day.
Matt Kapoor, the new girls water polo coach, has hopes for this year's team, even though it is hard to teach the game with no contact, but feels that the extra couple months of conditioning can be beneficial for the girls.
It gets back to not necessarily having as much time to practice the game itself as opposed to the conditioning part. That said, I think we get an extra 2 months here of focusing on conditioning, which I think is really good. I'm hopeful that the season starts off soon with some ability to really learn and understand the game as it's played. So scrimmaging and stuff like that.
And that's on your home for Roseville High School sports, top plays, breakdowns, and more. Eye of the Tiger Sports Network, EOTSN. And now we go over to entertainment.
Thanks, Kobe. Just yesterday it was announced that Warner Brothers will release its entire slate of films for 2021 on HBO Max the same day they hit theaters. Films including blockbusters like Dune, Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla vs. Kong, The Suicide Squad, Tom and Jerry, and many more are all set for release for 31 days on the streaming service, as well as in theaters. This is coming after having previously announced that Wonder Woman 1984 will be going to HBO Max and theaters the same day on December 25th. This is a huge statement to make, considering there's been a set model for decades on how movies usually roll out. It's definitely going to be great to have more movies, since the pandemic foiled and delayed a lot of great releases this year. However, it does raise a lot of questions, the biggest being, what does this mean for the future of films in theaters? Will this decision lead to a new evolutionary way of releasing films in the industry? In the meantime, we can look forward to the releases of some big projects in 2021. And now we go back to news.
Thanks, Isabella. And RHS junior and senior spend their time rolling at a rink. We go to TJ Sims with more on the story.
Dustin and Michaela skate competitively, but unlike what you would normally assume with ice skating, instead of blades, they use wheels.
Working independently by yourself, and then you'll meet up with your coach for one-on-one time throughout the week to work on your skills for the different events. There are 5 events. Freestyle, which is where you're doing jump spins and basically doing stuff you see in ice skating but on roller skates. There's figures, which you're following a set of 3 circles and you're working to stay on the line and do a series of turns going forward and backwards. There's loops, where you're following a set of smaller circles and working to stay on the line forwards and
Despite doing different activities, Destiny and Michaela normally are together, but that has changed due to COVID-19.
Nice basketball courts that don't have too many cracks and things. And there's definitely a lot of debris out there, so we're trying our best to get brooms and sweep it off there. We're also keeping our small groups within just the people who have their own coaches. So me and Michaela are separate currently. Normally inside the rink we're together, but right now we're practicing at separate basketball courts and I haven't been seeing her too much. But it definitely shows who's the most dedicated when it comes to the basketball courts, because if you're dedicated to the sport, you're going to show up and you're going to practice hard with the time you have out there, no matter how freezing cold it is or how hard it is to skate on that ground. And if you're not as dedicated, you're going to be lazy and not want to go because it's just not at the rink.
The skaters have been trying to not let COVID get in the way of their practice.
That's it for us today on Eye of the Tiger.
And remember, we're always on eyeofthetigernews.com. See you next time.